Leviticus 26. Covenant blessings. You must not make any idols, and do not set up any divine image or sacred pillar. You must not place any carved stone in your land, bowing down to it, because I am the Lord your God. You must keep my Sabbaths and respect my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If you live according to my rules, keep my commands and do them, I will give you rain at the proper time. The land will produce its yield, and the trees of the field will produce their fruit. Your threshing season will last until the grape harvest, and the grape harvest will last until planting time. You will eat your fill of food and live securely in your land. I will grant peace in the land, so that you can lie down without anyone frightening you. I will remove dangerous animals from the land, and no sword will pass through it. You will chase your enemies, and they will fall before you in battle. 5 of you will chase away 100, and 100 of you will chase away 10,000, and your enemies will fall before you in battle. I will turn my face to you, will make you fruitful and numerous, and will keep my covenant with you. You will still be eating the previous year's harvest when the time will come to clear it out to make room for the new. I will place my dwelling among you, and I will not despise you. I will walk around among you. I will be your God, and you will be my people. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt's land, who brought you out from being Egypt's slaves. I broke your bonds and made you stand up straight. Covenant curses. But if you do not obey me and do not carry out all these commands, if you reject my rules and despise my regulations, not doing all my commands and breaking my covenant, then I will do the following to you. I will bring horrific things, wasting diseases, and fevers that make the eyes fail and drain life away. You will plant seed for no reason, because your enemies will eat the food. I will turn my face against you. You will be defeated by your enemies. Those who hate you will rule over you, and you will run away even when no one is chasing you. If, despite all that, you still do not obey me, I will punish you for your sins 7 more times. I will destroy your prideful power. I will turn your sky to iron and your land to bronze, so that your strength will be spent for no reason. Your land will not produce its yield, and the trees of the land won't produce their fruit. If you continue to oppose me and are unwilling to obey me, I will strike you for your sins 7 more times. I will send wild animals against you, and they will kill your children and destroy your livestock. They will make you so few in number that your roads will seem deserted. If, despite these things, you still do not accept my discipline and continue to oppose me, then I will continue to oppose you. I will strike you for your sins 7 more times. I will bring the sword against you, avenging the breaking of the covenant. If you retreat into your cities, I will send a plague on you, and you will be handed over to the enemy. When I destroy your food supply, 10 women will bake bread in a single oven, and they will ration out bread by weight. You will eat, but will never get full. If, despite all this, you still do not obey me and continue to oppose me, then I will continue to oppose you with anger. I will punish you for your sins 7 more times. You will eat the flesh of your own sons and daughters. I will eliminate your shrines, chop down your incense altars, and pile your dead bodies on the dead bodies of your idols. I will despise you. I will turn your cities into ruins. I will devastate your sanctuaries, and I will not smell the soothing smells of your offerings. I will personally devastate the land so much that your enemies who resettle it will be astonished by it. I will scatter you among the nations. I will unsheathe my sword against you. Your land will be devastated, and your cities will be ruins. At that time, while it is devastated and you are in enemy territory, the land will enjoy its Sabbaths. At that time, the land will rest and enjoy its Sabbaths. During the whole time it is devastated, it will have the rest it didn't have during the Sabbaths you lived in it. I will bring despair into the hearts of those of you who survive in enemy territory. Just the sound of a wind-blown leaf will put them to running, and they will run, scared, as if running from a sword. They will fall even when no one is chasing them. They will stumble over each other as they would before a sword, even though no one is chasing them. You will have no power to stand before your enemies. You will disappear among the nations. The land of your enemies will devour you. Any of you who do survive will rot in enemy territory on account of their guilty deeds, and they will rot too on account of their ancestors' guilty deeds. Covenant and restoration. But if they confess their and their ancestors' guilt for the wrongdoing they did to me, and for their continued opposition to me, which made me oppose them, so I took them into enemy territory, or if their uncircumcised hearts are humbled and they make up for their guilt, then I will remember my covenant with Jacob. I will also remember my covenant with Isaac and my covenant with Abraham, and I will remember the land. The land will be absent of them and will be enjoying its Sabbaths while it lies devastated, free of them. They will be making up for their guilty deeds for no other reason than the fact that they rejected my regulations and despised my rules. But despite all that, when they are in enemy territory, I will not reject them or despise them to the point of totally destroying them, breaking my covenant with them by doing so, because I am the Lord their God. But for their sake, I will remember the covenant with the first generation, the ones I brought out of Egypt's land in the sight of all the nations, in order to be their God. I am the Lord. These are the rules, regulations, and instructions between the Lord and the Israelites that he gave through Moses on Mount Sinai. Leviticus 27, Dedications. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when a person makes a solemn promise to the Lord involving the value of a person, if it is the value for a male between 20 and 60 years old, his value is 50 silver shekels according to the sanctuary's shekel. If the person is a female, her value is 30 shekels. If the age of the person is between 5 and 20 years, the value for a male is 20 shekels, for a female 10 shekels. If the age of the person is between 1 month and 5 years, the value for a male is 5 silver shekels, for a female 3 silver shekels. If the age of the person is 60 years or more, the value is 15 shekels. If the person is male, 10 shekels for a female. But if financial difficulty prevents the promise maker from giving the full value, they must set the person before the priest. The priest will assign the person a value according to what the promise maker can afford. If a solemn promise involves livestock that can be offered to the Lord, any such animal given to the Lord will be considered holy. The promise maker cannot replace or substitute for it, either good for bad or bad for good. But if one should substitute one animal for another, both it and the substitute will be holy. If the solemn promise involves any kind of unclean animal that cannot be offered to the Lord, the promise maker must set the animal before the priest. The priest will assign it a value, whether high or low. Its value will be what the priest says. If the promise maker wishes to buy it back, they must add 1/5 to its value. When someone dedicates their house to the Lord as holy, the priest will assign a value to it, whether high or low. The value is fixed, whatever value the priest assigns to it. If the one who dedicates the house wishes to buy it back, they must add 1/5 to its valued price, and it will be theirs again. If a person dedicates part of the land from their family property to the Lord, the value will be set according to the seed needed to plant it, 50 silver shekels per homer of barley seed. If the person dedicates the piece of land during the Jubilee year, its value will stay fixed. But if the person dedicates the piece after the Jubilee year, the priest will calculate the price according to the years that are left until the next Jubilee year, and the value will be reduced. If the one who dedicates the land wishes to buy it back, they must add 1/5 to its valued price, and it will be theirs again. But if they do not buy it back, or if it was sold to someone else, it is no longer able to be bought back. When the piece of land is released in the Jubilee year, it will be holy to the Lord, like a piece of devoted land. It will be the priest's property. If the person dedicates land they purchase to the Lord, land that is not part of their family property, the priest will calculate the amount of its value until the Jubilee year. The person must pay the value on that day as a holy donation to the Lord. In the Jubilee year, the piece of land will return to the seller, to the one who is the original owner of the family property. Every value will be according to the sanctuary's shekel. The shekel will be 20 gerahs. But note that a person cannot dedicate any oldest offspring from livestock, which already belongs to the Lord, because it is the oldest. Whether ox or sheep, it belongs to the Lord. If it is an unclean animal, it may be bought back at its value plus 20%. If it is not bought back, it will be sold at its set value. Also note that everything someone devotes to the Lord from their possessions, whether humans, animals, or pieces of land from their family property, cannot be sold or bought back. Every devoted thing is most holy to the Lord. No human beings that have been devoted can be bought back. They must be executed. All 10th part gifts from the land, whether of seed from the ground or fruit from the trees, belong to the Lord. They are holy to the Lord. If someone wishes to buy back part of their 10th part gift, they must add 1/5 to it. All 10th part gifts from a herd or flock, every 10th animal that passes under the shepherd's staff, will be holy to the Lord. The one bringing the 10th part gift must not pick out the good from the bad, and cannot substitute any animal. But if one should substitute an animal, both it and the substitute will be holy and cannot be bought back. These are the commands that the Lord gave Moses on Mount Sinai for the Israelites.